Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 80s Parenting Podcast. Today we have a very special guest, a guest that I have known longer than Heather. I have known this person longer than HT. Welcome, Tracy, to the podcast.
Oh.
Hello. So today we have myself, I'm Malinda, and I have my friend over here, Heather, my co-host, and we have Tracy. So Tracy and I met in Arizona. We all three of us lived in Arizona, and we met in the second grade. We met in the second grade. And did you have Mr. Breeze or no?
No. Second grade. I think I can picture her, a Klein something, very tall, statuesque woman, terrifying. Okay. I cannot remember her last name though. But she was terrifying. I remember that.
Oh, great. Yeah. That's fun. That's fun for the second grade. So, but I remember our classes were adjoining. So we would do like movie days and things like that together. And then we both had third grade. We both had Miss Atkinson. And I believe we both had Miss Pope.
No, I had Miss Pope.
No,
Heather had Miss
Pope? I did not.
I had Miss Pope.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Wait, for third grade?
No, that was fourth.
Yeah, fourth grade I had Miss Pope.
Yeah, she was a gem. So, and then I don't recall who I had in the fifth grade, but I know sixth grade we both had Mr. E, that asshole.
I ran into him in a bar not that long ago, probably 5 years ago now.
What?
Yeah, I remember you telling me that story, and you're like, why are you in this bar?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Are you still working at a junior high school?
Do you still throw erasers at people?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, wait. He was elementary school. That's right.
Yeah, he was elementary.
So we met, and Tracy was my co-conspirator on meeting this one here, on meeting Heather, and Miss Atkinson was the one who told us to go and talk to the poor little lass that was crying. On the playground. So Tracy and I went over and we met Heather, and then ever since then we've all been friends, and here we are, 2 new 50s and one almost in her 50s.
Carry on.
Carry on. So Tracy, and Tracy, we were all born in the same year, and you guys can do the math because we're all in our 50s. We
were in our 50s.
Yeah, I know.
We're not all in our 50s.
No, that's right.
Excuse me, we're all 50.
That's right.
Thank you for the correction.
New 50.
Tracy and I still live in Arizona.
Oh, that's right. And I do not. So I got out of that hellhole as fast as I could.
I'm working my way out.
The devil's armpit. No,
I got like a year left.
You know what, though? I honestly, other than it being hot as hell there, we had a pretty good childhood. Like, it was pretty middle classy.
Yeah.
I would say it was pretty middle class, and it was, we got what we needed. We didn't have any violence or any type of things like that in our schools. We didn't have anything like that. So we did have a pretty good life there in Arizona.
Yeah.
So I would recommend raising a family in Arizona. I think it's pretty good. Honestly.
Yeah, it still is.
Yeah, it still is. I mean, there's
all made it through.
We all made it through. There's probably parts here and there that, just like anywhere, that are different, or different or difficult. So Tracy grew up in a divorced family, correct?
Correct.
And you have an older sister, Shannon.
I do.
Who we love. How much older is Shannon?
Shannon is 3 years and 2 months to the day.
Oh, wow.
You guys have the same birthday?
2 months different. She's April 22nd and June 22nd.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it just seemed like she was so much older when we were younger, didn't it?
Well, yeah, she was very mature and very opinionated. She still is.
She still is. That's hilarious. So all of our so I remember, I'm just on a side note, I remember the funnest birthday party. One of the exciting birthday parties that I've ever been to is at Tracy's house. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Did we have the pool?
No.
At that time? Did we have a baked potato bar?
That's the baked potato bar is epic.
I knew that was good. We still do that for my birthday now. I still love it.
I told
my mom will be so proud you brought that up, man.
that was a shining moment in my life. The baked potato bar. The baked potato bar. Like, I dream of that baked potato bar. I'm like,
It's
you know what?
amazing.
You know what I want for my birthday, folks? My friends now, I go, I want a potato bar. And they're like, oh, you mean like French fries? And I'm like, no, I
Oh,
want a baked potato bar. I couldn't have one that would be more epic than the one that we had when you were younger. Your mom like had, so for people who are listening, a baked potato bar is Tracy's mom made baked potatoes, and then she had all the fixings to go with the baked potatoes. She had, cheese and bacon and onion and whatever you could imagine possible to put on our baked potatoes, and it was
yep.
delicious. It was delicious. And I loved that moment in my life. That was my favorite birthday party ever. So
What's
thank you.
fun is my sister and I tease her because we still do baked potato bar, but now she'll bring in like brisket. And I'm like, no, I
Oh,
want people, boiled ham, some broccoli, some cheese. I'm like, and some
yeah.
bacon
And
bits. Don't try to class this up.
no,
No.
it has to be that gross cheese. The
Yeah,
gross nacho cheese.
it's the best.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. But I love that moment. And it's funny because I remember that and I remember your cats.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I
I
remember.
remember the cats.
The cat Smudge
Mud, Gizmo.
and Gizmo.
Smudge lived forever.
Oh,
Oh,
He was like
R.I.P.
21 or something.
Oh wow.
oh my gosh.
I know.
That's
It's
crazy.
horrifying now as I have cats. I'm like, ooh, 21 years with
they're
you too.
they're gonna outlive
I don't know.
I know, they're gonna
I don't
outlive
know.
me. I had a cat that lived to 19. So that's pretty good. Ashley
A long
Pounds.
time.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Tracy, we want to hear about your epic 80s parenting story.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was, it was an interesting time. If you guys remember, my mom worked nights,
Yes.
went to school during the day. So epic 80s parenting was there was no one home.
Bingo.
It's like, you two girls, you'll be fine. You got this. And I still remember our neighbor, Rob, that lived down the street. He was a firefighter and he would park his vehicle in our driveway. So it looked like someone was home. Okay, because there weren't alarms. We didn't have any of that
Oh,
nonsense back then,
no, you didn't
but
lock
everybody
doors.
knew everybody. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, my mom worked nights. She worked third shift at Motorola. And so she was gone. My dad was gone. It was just me and Shannon, just, ruling the roost, doing what we're supposed to do. You know, it was now that I think about it, I mean, I remember with Trey, like, no, you can't stay home alone. I know you're 16, but no. And then I'm
Uh-huh.
like, I was like 6. No one seemed to care. I turned out all right. It's going to be fine. But yeah, I mean, that was the weirdest thing. Like, it just didn't exist the way it does today. And I was home alone. Me and my sister, who was 3 years older, cooked dinner. We got this. It was, I can't even fathom that today.
Mm-mm.
No,
Can't even imagine.
no. Did anything ever happen that was questionable while you were at home?
Well, not when I was at home. I remember coming home from school one day, though, and the bus stop dropped me off the other end of the neighborhood. So walked all the way home and I get there and the front door is just like a little bit ajar.
I was with you that day. I
Yep.
remember. I was thinking, I'm like, oh, I hope she tells the story of when the door was open.
Do you remember how terrifying that
Yes.
was though? Because it was
Yes.
like, what do you do? Where do you go? I mean, and we were 3 stupid girls. We used to sit around and watch scary movies. So you just go
Uh-huh.
into that space of all the terrible things that could have happened and were going to happen to you momentarily.
Yep.
So I just remember that and like didn't know where to go. We ran across the street to the neighbors over there and then they came over. But yeah, that one still to this day just horrifies me and it was just, I think it was my sister didn't close the door all the way.
I was gonna say,
But
what was it? What did it end up being? I don't remember.
I think it was just that. I think Shannon didn't close the door all the way. And so it, like just opened itself up. But that was probably the scariest. I think the other scary one, which is a funny scary, was my mom was at work. Shannon and I, if you remember, we used to fight,
Yep.
like hardcore fight. And it was summertime. Her and I were throwing blows. I mean, furniture was turned over. It was an epic battle. And all of a sudden we hear a car pull up and it was like I just remember freezing. We look out the window and it's my grandparents in the brown van had rolled up from Topeka because it was almost my birthday. And
Oh.
we're like, ah, and you're like just flipping furniture back over. We're like, hello, welcome. Good to see you, Grandma and Grandpa. And I mean, it was just like we'd look at each other like, holy crap. We almost got busted. I mean, my mom's rule was the last one standing cleans up the blood. So,
Nice.
we partnered together and made it happen. But yeah,
Solid
that was probably almost more terrifying than the door being open, Heather.
That's funny. I mean, we were talking about that too, about how it was the stranger danger actually started in the
Oh, yeah.
80s. And that was, we probably learned it in school, and you get home and the door's ajar. Although
Yeah.
nobody ever locked their doors anyway.
No.
There was no
No.
need. Why would you lock your door? Anybody, come on in.
Yeah. Well, don't you guys remember though walking to the Circle K from your house?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was
with
a
the note.
stranger danger moment.
Through
Yeah.
the desert.
Through the
Yep.
desert. Through the desert with a note to buy cigarettes.
And they sold them to us.
And
With
they
the
sold
note.
them
Why
to
wouldn't they? You had a note.
us.
It's legit. Totally legit.
I
Oh
know.
my God.
And then I remember one time, the live-in, we call him the live-in. Remember Dick?
Oh yes.
He wrote the note for cigarettes and beer, and they would not give me the beer, but they
No.
gave me the cigarettes.
Note's only going to get you so far.
I know. And it's like, how lazy are you not to go right down the street? And like, it was not even a mile away.
No, it was right on the corner. I mean, we did have to walk or run through the desert depending on what was happening at the time, but yeah, it was
Yeah.
close.
Yeah, it was. I know. There were some pretty sketchy moments in our
Oh,
lives
yeah.
that you question, like, would have turned out worse if something else would have happened?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But we never traveled alone. We
No.
were always in a small group or a small gang. We got this.
Yeah, exactly.
Traveled in packs.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
what-
That was
what is-
stranger danger. Don't travel alone.
Don't
We
travel
traveled in
alone.
packs.
Oh, that's right. Travel in packs. Well, then, because you always had to look out for Adrian.
True.
Adrian
Sure.
and Nathan. They were always around. Adrian and
And
Nathan
Frankie.
were around. We pretty much did everything unsupervised.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. I mean, supervision, I feel like for the three of us was like one of our moms left a snack out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're well taken care of. Look, you have some chips and mustard. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Hey, I still love me some chips
And
and
bagel dogs from Costco.
Yeah, there you go.
I do love me
You
some
still
chips
love
and
your
mustard.
chips
There
and
was
mustard?
no water. There was no bottles of water.
No.
Sorry.
There was a hose out front. You're fine.
There was a hose, and that's probably some of our health causes today is drinking hose water.
I like to think that's why we have such good immunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's turn that around. That's probably why. So yeah, I do remember your mom. She was always, when we would come over, she would be sleeping because she slept during the
Yeah,
day,
'cause she
right?
worked at night. Mhm.
Yeah, and she
Yep.
worked at night. And
Yep.
I never told my mom that. My mom would have questioned
Oh,
that
for
because
sure.
I of parents not being around. So I would go to Heather's all the time, and her mom was never home either. But my mom didn't know that. That's
No, we didn't. You don't need. That's need to know.
that's the need to know, and that's how we got away with a lot of things that we did do because there was no
100%.
parental supervision.
Yep.
Mhm.
Because
Yep.
nobody wanted to come to my house. My mom was always home.
Well, and they couldn't track us. They didn't know where we were. We were
Yeah.
usually on foot or on a bike or
Yeah.
something else. I mean, you weren't going to find us.
No.
That was the easiest way.
And that's the strangest thing to me was come home when the street lights come on.
Of course.
But it was like our parents didn't even know, like I know where Paige is all the time. Like,
Yeah, but like we can track our kids on
Yeah.
phones and
yeah, that's
everything
true.
else. I mean, we didn't have any of that.
We didn't, I know, I don't even think I knew my phone number.
I still know my house phone number from
Do
back then.
you?
Yeah.
Heather probably
Actually-
knows mine.
No, I don't remember yours. I remember the video store.
The
Do
what?
you really? Oh
I
my
do.
gosh, the video store.
Video store phone number.
Tracy, did you ever work at the video store or no?
I don't think I
I don't think
did.
so.
If I did, it was very short-lived. I take that back. I think I did, and I think it was very short-lived.
Yeah, for a short period of time. I don't
Yeah,
remember what you did after that or whatever, but I think you did.
because I was at the Springs. I worked at the
Oh, that's right.
retirement place.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because my mom told me one day, hey, you have a job tomorrow. Like I do.
How all my friends got their jobs.
$3.82 was my starting salary.
Nice.
I hope you put all that away and saved it.
I put all that away and saved it for, at the end of the week, I could buy Taco Bell.
$59.79.99.
That's
right.
Hey, it doesn't
No
get any
drink.
better than that.
No drink. You drank hose water. or you stole it, or you stole something from the video store. It wasn't okay to steal anything from other places, but the place that you worked at, go ahead. Go ahead. That's
Well,
an
and there was always
playing ground.
candy and drinks. I mean, come
Yeah.
on.
No, yeah.
It was
Steal all
like the
you
best
want from the
lunchroom
video store.
cafeteria ever.
Steal all you want for the video store. Heather does the inventory. Just count that one in. Why are we then? And this is why Heather does not know how to budget.
Indeed.
Why are we short money on? We sold 10, but technically it's only 7. I don't know.
I don't know where the other 3 went.
There must have been 3 rotten ones in that
magic.
bunch. Okay, so your mom wasn't home, typical 80s parenting, and we were a motley crew, all of us.
A little bit.
All of us together, but we had some fun times, and so we laughed a lot, and we had many a slumber party and a potato party that was epic. And I just remember, like, you and your sister had so many clothes. I remember that you had a lot of fashion.
Huh. I do remember, I mean, when we joked about, recording this in the closet, my closet still looks similar today as it did back then, which I'm sure you both remember. And my sister and I shared a room, so it was a struggle to,
pack it in,
fit it all in there.
Yeah, I remember it was, you had a lot of clothing. I remember that.
I don't know why though, because I mean, we didn't have a lot of money. It's like, why did I don't know.
Well, I mean, between 2 females, and I'm sure you probably stole some stuff from your mom and it made it into your closet.
Probably, yeah, because I do remember wanting to wear, like, I remember my mom had this pair of yellow pants, which I thought were just the coolest pair of pants. And I was lucky enough to be similar size. But yeah, I don't know why my sister and I had so many clothes. Hard to say.
Hard to say. Who knows? Maybe
she's now a minimalist and I am not. So
it's what?
She is now a minimalist and I am not.
Oh, your mother is, or your sister?
No, my sister.
Oh, really?
Oh,
that's awesome. Yeah. And you are not. You have cute outfits. So we want to ask you some fun questions. And Heather, do you want to get started?
Yeah, I'm going to skip number 1 because we would normally ask if you snuck out at night, but you didn't need to sneak out at night because nobody was home.
Nobody was
There was really no sneaking. I was like, bye, gotta go. See y'all later.
So we'll do it kind of backwards. I'll start with number 3 and Min, you hop back to number 2.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. Did you have a collection obsession in the 80s?
Gosh, I would say if it was anything, do you guys remember Jute and Hoops?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Stickers.
Yep.
I mean, and I don't know what I did with them. I'm not sure why I was obsessed with them, but I do remember anytime I had money, that's where I wanted to go. It was like, okay, and they had everything. I mean, they had stickers, they had cool pens and like just random stuff, but it was probably that. I don't really remember too many other like collectible type things. So I would say it was probably that, because that's like, and when I had money, that's where I wanted to go.
Dude, classic recall on the name of that store. I would have never remembered that.
It's like right here for me too, because I
know
loved that place.
Yeah, I don't know what I ate this morning, but I can remember that stuff that serves no purpose in my life whatsoever.
And I remember that you loved that store too when they came out with named items, because your name was always on everything.
Yeah.
There was never any Malinda.
No.
Especially not spelled correctly.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Yeah,
So,
there's still never names like Trey. I found one cup in his lifetime that had his name on it, and it was like, we still have it. It was that epic. We needed to keep it. So
oh,
yeah.
that's cute. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of us had a sticker obsession, and we would put them in those books. There was no trading going on. There wasn't like a
No.
trading situation. It was just like sticker hoarding for there was no like water bottle that you stuck your stickers on. It was just in a sticker book or loose leaf stickers.
Now you make me feel bad about it. I never thought of it as hoarding.
Sticker.
And then
No,
you would just sit
everybody.
there and randomly look at them, though.
Everybody had stickers. I mean, hoarding meaning we all just kept them. We did it. We, not like now, like a Taylor Swift, like with the bracelets, the friendship bracelets. We were like, nope, that's my sticker.
Yeah. They served no purpose, but they were so cool.
They were so cool. And there was like minimal gathering of friends to show off your sticker book. It wasn't like
hoarding.
Yeah, it wasn't. And then remember then it went into like those garbage pail kids
cards. I never really got into those.
Me neither. They were
they were just kind of gross to me.
Yeah, they were
friendship
pretty
bracelets
gross.
though, speaking of, those were freaking cool.
The what?
Those were
the friendship bracelets. We used to sit around for hours and make them. And remember, you would get the yarn and you'd tie it to your safety pin, and then you'd stick the safety pin in your pants, and then you'd sit there and just make, and you'd do that for hours.
Yeah,
way before Taylor Swift. I mean,
yeah, we are the OGs of friendship bracelets. The OGs. That's right, the OGs of friendship bracelets.
We are.
Okay, besides the yellow pants, Tracy, did you have any specific fashion trends in the 80s that you your parents hated that you just loved?
No, I don't think so. It's kind of funny because my mom and my sister and I have talked about like trends and, how we were looking at pictures growing up and stuff like that. And I don't really think there was much. I mean, you guys got to remember for a while, my mom made a lot of our clothes when we were little. So she pretty much controlled it.
Yeah.
And even after that, it was like, I never did like crop shirts, any of that. I mean, we were pretty simple as far as the way we dressed and stuff like that. There wasn't anything outlandish that I remember. So, I mean, I remember like first pair of Guess jeans that came from Price Club. That was a moment.
And it was Price Club.
and it was Price Club.
By the way, Price Club is now Costco.
Yeah.
For you youngsters out there listening.
And in transition, it was Price Costco.
It was for a hot minute.
I forgot about that. Yeah, so no, I don't really think there was. I mean, obviously we had bad hair and, she didn't want me to wear makeup. I remember that for the longest time, but no, she wasn't really my mom was pretty laid back.
Yeah. Did you have you had the jelly shoes?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The jelly
They hurt your feet.
Oh, they sure did, especially in Arizona in a hot summer.
Yeah. That probably started my trend of here, let's wear shoes that are super uncomfortable just because they look good.
Yeah.
That might have been the beginning of it.
Might have been. I remember you would wear those jelly shoes, no socks, and you would just be sweating through them because they're just rubber. And then your tan line would be the
funky.
Tan line or you take them off and just have the indentations from all the little openings.
Yeah.
Because you've been walking in them for miles. Well, we also had the Huaraches, though. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
Those were hideous, ugly shoes, but we all thought they were amazing. That woven, weird leather that also doesn't breathe in the summer in Arizona. And, you wore it barefoot.
Yeah. And by the way, those are coming back in the male population. They're big.
Yeah.
They are?
Oh, yeah. A lot of gays have them.
Yeah. Oh.
And I love them for it.
Or you love that for them, either one. But
I don't even see. I mean, I guess Crocs are a version of the jelly shoe.
I have Crocs on right now.
No, it is a no.
They are not allowed in my home. No.
It is also a no for me. It is also a
Moving
no.
On.
Moving on.
It's the age gap again, Melinda. Heather,
That's 6 months.
That's right.
Have me a Croc in that 6 months.
Hey, we're still a new 50. So there you go.
No Crocs for the new 50.
What was your favorite 80s toy or game?
Oh God. I mean, I do remember that when I was little, I had a ton of Barbies.
Yes.
Games? I don't really remember playing too many games. I'm sure you two remember us playing games, but I don't.
I only remember Twister.
Twister.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of Ouija board at slumber party.
Oh, yeah.
I do remember that.
Forgot about that. Yeah.
I don't touch
Well,
them.
and like, yeah. And I mean, you had the strawberry shortcake obsession.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I might have lost those brain cells even being new 50.
I was the odd girl out. I
Same.
had the Hot Wheels. I had the Hot Wheels obsession.
Oh,
Yeah. I think Heather just had an obsession with everything that my brother had. Because we talked about her BMX bike that Adrian had and Heather wanted, and she got the generic version of it.
I was really pissed.
She was so sad about it.
Very disappointed.
Aw.
I had a lot of Barbies too.
I know. It was so weird that, speaking of toys, like we always got what we wanted, which was weird because my mom didn't have any money.
We didn't either. I mean,
yeah.
But I always had like strawberry shortcake dolls. Adrian had G.I. Joe or the Star Wars characters.
Yeah.
And bikes and like shoes. My mom bought me the Guess jeans. And I remember it was at a little boutique that was for tiny kids because I was so tiny. And so they were probably cheaper. And I remember I was so excited about that Guess jeans with the shirt that had the symbol on it, the t-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Wore it like every other day. And then
well, can we also think about the fact that the three of us could never share clothes because not only is the hair color between the three of us wildly different, the two of you and me, there's also like, I don't know, a 7-inch height difference between me and the two of you.
Yep. Yeah. I know Heather and I talk about all the time how we were so tiny.
Yeah.
We were just like tiny, and Heather always had like a tiny little shoe. I couldn't fit in Heather's shoes. She always had like a 4 or 5.
Oh, please.
It's a 5. Now I'm a 5.5.
Which
oh,
is tiny.
Good God.
Which is
My
tiny.
half size. Hey, good God, it's hard to find shoes.
Well, I'm a size 10, so you know.
There you go.
There's that.
Boo-hoo, Heather. Can't find shoes. So, and I think I know this one. Did you have an 80s iconic haircut?
Yeah. Hello. I mean, bangs for days. And so we had the bangs, you know, that was one. The sun-in, which was not kind to my hair color.
Yeah.
As natural as this all looks to you now, it was not kind. The epic perm, which took out a chunk of my hair in the back because I have very fine hair. Yeah, there's been some hair trauma. I think I still have some PTSD somewhere in there that probably needs to come out in therapy. But yeah, there was definitely some epic hair trends, which
I have a picture of the sky high bangs.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
With the perm.
Oh.
Well, you have to combine the trends.
Yes. Yeah, and you have to kill that ozone layer with that spray.
Yeah, of course. But was it the photo that also had the epic 80s glasses in it?
Yes, it is. I have several. I have several pictures, and actually I was going to send it to you and then I lost track of time. But it's a picture of when I think we were in junior high school. And in junior high, we had orchestra together. I remember that. And I don't know if we had any other classes, but we went on that, was it 7th grade or 8th grade field trip?
Where'd we go?
Oh.
We went
Was it an orchestra field trip?
Yeah.
We were in the black dresses?
Yeah, I don't remember where we went, but I have a picture of you and your mom on the bus.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because your mom was the chaperone on that one, I guess.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, you'll have to send me that one.
Yeah,
that's
and then
funny.
what year was it that we went to those cabins, like Cabin George?
Oh, that was 5th grade. So
yeah,
that
was 5th grade.
Like 84-ish.
That is a whole nother trauma.
Okay, so you want to hear something hilarious? So my son went
Yeah.
to the same junior high that we went to,
Uh-huh.
also went to the same high school, different elementary school, but we went to the same camp.
Oh yeah.
I chaperoned his trip to that same camp, and George is still a cabin, and it's still supposed to be haunted.
But it was
Yeah,
boys.
that's every junior high kid's trauma is to go to that camp.
Yeah.
Yeah. And which is weird. And I think I don't remember the name of the cabin that I stayed in, but I remember there was a big room and then there was a little room off to the side, and I went to the room off to the side. And weren't you in there with me, Tracy? I don't remember.
I believe so, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know where Heather was.
With my mother, because she insisted on going. It was the
Oh,
one thing
no.
she did in all
So
of my school years to participate.
So you were in the big room then?
I don't know.
You
Were you
don't
with my
Probably.
I remember that, and I also remember doing our little cabin did like the worst talent show thing.
Oh God.
We
Well,
were
we had
like,
no talent. I'm sorry.
no, we had zero talent. It was like some like
And zero
forest
ambition to
scene.
try to be talented
No,
for a
no,
talent show.
yeah.
Yeah.
And actually it was whoever was the chaperoned parent
Yeah.
made up the skits. So
We had
we must have had a dud, and it was probably Heather's mother.
Aw.
Let's churn some butter and eat carob, kids.
Loved my childhood. Okay. Oh, this is my favorite question. I am so excited that I get to ask this one. Top 3 iconic 80s movies that still hold up today.
Oh, that's easy. Stand by Me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I watched that with Trey, and I was like, "You have to watch this," and he's like, "Eh." And I was like, "Get out! What
Yeah.
is wrong with you?"
Yes.
He just didn't understand it. So that one, Dirty Dancing.
Mhm.
I mean, come on. That's what we all thought summer camp was supposed to be like, not
Yes.
what we experienced.
Yeah.
There's so many. We had all the good movies.
Yes, we did.
I mean, we had all the good movies. I'd say Outsiders.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was
Still
a
love
good
that movie. Still love that movie. But we
Yeah.
had all the good movies. I mean, we had 16 Candles. We had
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Breakfast
Breakfast
Club.
Club.
We had,
The entire
yeah,
Brad.
yeah. So, yeah, that one's an easy one for me, but I can still watch those movies. The only thing that's hard about watching them is just how bad the quality is.
I know.
And I'm like, what's wrong with my television? It just looks terrible. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's how movies were when we were growing up.
Yeah, exactly. And we went to the movie theater, and it was the same thing with TV shows. It's like you had to wait till it was on again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember, what did we watch? What is oh my God, what is that one? You take the good, you take the bad, you take
Facts
the
of life.
broken.
Facts of
Yeah,
life.
the facts of life is in the song.
Yeah.
The facts of life.
Yeah.
There's a place you gotta go. Mrs. Garrett.
Uh-huh. Blair and Judy and Joe.
And Joe. Oh,
I think
Joe.
Heather wanted to be Joe. She
I
wanted to work
wanted to
on
be Joe. I
cars,
loved Joe. She was my
BMX bike, you know.
That's right. Heather wanted to be Joe. I wanted to be anything that had to do with pink, for sure.
Yeah.
I was pretty girly.
You were, which now it just kind of cracks me up because you're not girly.
No,
I mean, you
not
are
really.
sometimes, I guess.
I still like pink. Yeah. No, now I'm just lazy. and and now I just like comfort. I found out that you can wear comfortable clothes every day.
You can.
You
You
can.
sure can.
I sure can.
And me, I'm like, if it's a shade of black, I'll take it. Perfect. Thank you.
I am 50 shades of black every day.
Yeah.
I just so happen to be wearing a colorful sweatshirt today because it's freezing where I am. So, last question for you. Oh, wait. Yeah, I think this is the last one. Do you have a smell of the 80s that just brings you right back? A certain
God.
smell.
That's a good one. I do, and it sounds weird. It would be my grandma's perfume, and I can picture it, but I can't tell you the name of it. White something. Oh my gosh.
Oleander?
No. Dang. Now it's going to haunt me all day. I have to think about it. But yeah, just certain things like that. tend to bring me back. Like, it sounds terrible, like old lady smells, like would have been like my grandma, but I mean, that was who I was, spending time with. And so
Right.
that's probably like the most like trigger, like memory trigger for me, is things like that. Yeah, that's probably it. Potato bars don't really have a smell,
That's
so
true. They just
didn't
taste,
have that.
they're just delicious. Heather, were you at the potato bar party?
I
Wait,
think so.
I'm sure.
Oh, you would have remembered.
Well,
It was
here's
not
why
as
I said,
memorable for her, clearly.
here's
Yeah.
why I think so, because my son also loves a potato bar, and for
Yeah.
every event, he wants a baked potato bar.
Yeah.
And so people that like friends of mine here in Arizona do baked potato bar parties all the time. So I'm like, wait, am I remembering? Like,
Well, you're all welcome.
I know. You
smell.
started the trend. You started that trend. You should take
Right.
full credit. Your mom should take full credit for that trend.
Gonna
And
call her when we're done.
and I was gonna say, I was gonna say maybe Heather wasn't there because there were times when all three of us hated each other.
There
It
were.
happened. Yeah.
And it happened. And it was, one of us was friends with the other one or the other one. And it didn't last long, maybe a couple
No.
days, a couple days here and there. But it didn't last long because the common phrase was, "You're too young to know." That was said to me and then also remember in the 6th grade when everybody would make out on the playground?
Oh God.
God.
I was not a
Yeah.
participant of that, but I think Tracy was.
Nah, I
Never.
don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. And you were too busy running laps for Mr. East.
Still see my halo? Yeah. Yeah, I probably was running laps. I have
Do you
no
remember
doubt.
that? Do you remember the lap strips?
Yeah.
I talked about it in another episode. We would get lap strips for running, and then you use those lap strips to get things. So I didn't do enough laps to earn the party to, I think it was like Skateland or something party.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to go, so I got to stay at school that day. Yeah, he was a very mean teacher.
He was something else. I mean, you think about like his style of teaching, would that fly today? Oh no.
No.
No. He would there would be some parent association after him left and right. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
throwing
I'm sure.
erasers, I mean, lap
Yeah, and
strip. Yeah.
lap strips, just calling kids out just for not knowing an answer, and just mean, all around mean, like he bullied us. And you didn't want to go to the class because you were like, oh, is he gonna call me out today?
But in some ways, though, I think it also pushed us because
Yeah,
we
it
didn't
did.
want to have the wrong answer. So maybe he had something, and maybe he was doing something right, but nobody else was doing it. So it was like so shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But
true. But he could get away with it. There was nobody's calling the principal. Our parents
Nope.
were like, whatever. It's just like in 4th grade, Miss Pope made me play kickball, and I did not want to play kickball. So this is the 80s parenting story extreme. So long story short, Mrs. Pope says, I called my mom. I don't know why Malinda refuses to play kickball. And because I would wear dress shoes on the kickball day because I didn't want to play kickball. And and my mom, and so the teacher made such a big deal, called my mother. So then we had a meeting with a psychiatrist at school. So it was Mrs. Pope, my mom, and the psychiatrist. And Mrs. Pope's like, oh, she doesn't want to play soccer. She keeps wearing dress shoes on that day. And the psychiatrist goes, maybe she just doesn't want to play kickball. It's not her thing. And then she just couldn't accept that I didn't want to play kickball.
Yep.
So long story short, after that meeting, I got to sit on the bench. Is where I wanted to be. So there you go. I had so many traumatic stories in the 4th grade because of that teacher.
That's so funny. That and kickball. I just like that you were smart enough to wear dress shoes on kickball day.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to try and like, I'm going to get a doctor's note. Nope. I'm just going to wear the wrong shoes.
I'm going to wear the wrong shoes. Yes.
Well played.
Thanks. It's about the only thing I had. I didn't survive 6th grade. I sure did make it through fourth. So, but we had some great times. It was very fun growing up in the 80s with you guys. And
Yeah.
I mean, we have many, many stories of things that, I probably can't remember. Like if you would jar my memory, I might be able to remember, like walking to Circle K. But
You might have blacked that one out. That might have been self-preservation. Like put
maybe.
that one in the dark parts of your mind. Don't remember that.
Exactly. And just the slumber parties and all the fun things that we did when we were younger and in school that wouldn't happen today.
No, definitely not.
Definitely not. Definitely not. So thank you so much, Tracy, for joining us on the
Of
podcast.
course.
Super
Of
fun.
course.
Now when I'm gonna be in Arizona in January, we need to have dinner or something.
Okay, good. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. No, it was good to see you too. Now I just listen to you guys and I'm like, I remember that. I remember that. So thank you for letting me relive my youth and all of our craziness together.
You're welcome. And
Well,
tell your mother thanks for the potato bar.
I will. I'll text her. She texted me this morning, so
She
I'll
should have
let
trademarked
her
that.
know. I
Missed
know.
opportunity. Missed opportunity.
Yeah.
You guys
Go
could have been
figure.
big in potatoes. Living the dream.
The baked potato dream.
That's funny.
Indeed.
Take care.